Hello, welcome to this series where we are going to build our Go authentication system. So um, I have my folder over here, authentication system. So you create your folder wherever on your desktop or on your computer. So I open it with Visual Studio Code over here. Now in our project folder, open with Visual Studio Code as our main IDE we are going to use. So I'll first create our main.go file. So our main.go file will be our entrance into our project. So good, we have it over here. Then we will continue to initialize our project. Let's take care of this error. So let's do our package main. Good. Now the error is gone. Now let's continue to initialize our project. Now let's open our terminal over here. Then let's do go mod init. Then followed by the name of our folder over here. We have my own is authentication dash system. Good. So that is our project. So authentication dash system. Good. Now press enter. Now good, you see it over here. Our Go application has been initialized. So we have our Go mod here. Now you see it, I'm running on Go version 1.23.5. Good. Now let's go ahead and install our Gin framework. Let's go ahead and install our Gin framework. Good. So I'll do go get -u, then the GitHub repo for Gin framework. So github.com/gin-gonic/gin. Okay, so this installs the Gin framework in our project. So let's wait as it downloads it into our project. Great. The framework is downloaded into our project. Now we see it over here. Now you see another file has been created for us called go.sam. So when we visit the go.sam, we see the project, the Gin framework over here. Okay, or every package that is needed in the Gin framework, everything has been downloaded for us inside over here. Good. Now we see the go.mod also has been populated with all packages. Exactly, you see it over here, required. That means that the reason why you see it being underlined with a yellow line is because it is not yet being used in our project. So if I come here to see the problems over here, you will see github.com/bitdance/sonic is not used in this module. So you see it all over here. This is not used. It's not used. Good. So now we have it, but we are not using it yet in our project. That's why we see that. Good. Now let's continue with some folder structure that we will be using to organize our project. So we will continue and create a folder called template. So basically this will handle all the front end HTML file. Okay, let me correct the typo. Okay, so all the HTML file will come in over here that we are going to use. Now let's create another folder called config. So basically this is where our configuration files will be created. So all configurations for the database and all that will be in this folder. Good. Now let's continue with create our another folder called models. So our database model will be also here for us. Good. Now let's continue to create a YAML file that will store all our data, all our keys, our SMTP email server keys, the database information and all that. So in our main project root directory, we create a config.yaml like this. Okay, good. Now we have that also in here. Now we continue to create our controller folder. So our controller folder will basically handle all the logic of our application. So we'll do controllers over here. Good. Now we again continue to create our route directory. So our route directory will handle all our routings. Okay, so let's do routes. Let's do routes. Okay, good. Now we have that one also in here. Okay, so now let's create another folder, our utility folder. So we will call it utils. So basically this will handle our helper functions. Okay, inside it. Good. Now this will be the folder structure that we are going to use, and basically we are done with the setup. So in the next video we are going to create our basic web server using the Gin framework we just installed. So thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video.